Yo people, Makkuro here. As some of you may have noticed, 3 days ago World of Speed has been released into early access on Steam. Now you can buy the access for €10 or however much that is in the dollars, but there are also packs that include DLC cars. Yeah. Anyway, for those of you that don't want an in-depth explanation, here's a very quick one. The game should be called World of Russians, and the physics themselves make you ram other players even if you don't want to. And that's really it. So now comes the in-depth explanation that includes my first impression as well. This time World of Speed is no longer developed by Makkuro, and although their name is still on the loading screen and in the disclaimer on Steam in fact, my official sources confirmed in an unofficial way that Makkuro has nothing to do with it. So this time the developer behind the game has an actual name, and no, Slightly Mad Studios was only contracted to do something, which they did, and gave that to Makkuro, which let one of their in-house developers do the thing. And how the one panned out, we all know. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The game is being developed by Saber Interactive and published by Mad Dog Games LLC. While the developer has some nice games under its name like Time Shift, Halo Master Chief Collection, and even a free-to-play title under works titled Quake Champions, the publisher, well, only one game published so far, NBA Playgrounds. Funnily enough, also made by Saber Interactive. Good thing here is, we're not looking at a Russian developer this time, so hopefully the game actually releases. Now onto the game itself. I'm going to skip all the information you can read on the Steam page, and you should read it. It's going to take less time than me talking about it here, so no. And I'll go only into those things that people that play will only know. Okay, so the game features server-sided physics when it comes to the multiplayer races, which, as you can see on the following piece of gameplay, ain't pretty in any shape or form. Now the moment you get close to another car, the physics just go kaput and shit happens. In other words, you will ram people even if you don't want to. Now if that wasn't bad enough, the feeling that you have no idea what is going on with the car is going to be very common, since you can count on an army of Russians to always try and make your day worse. That means a car close to you, that means you teleporting all over the place. Not the most enjoyable experience, to say the least. And just to add insult to the injury, the physics have a very detached feeling when cornering in multiplayer. You never really know how much turn you have to put, or how early you have to start turning, or how much braking to do. It's just, yeah. The economy aspect of the game is good and bad at the same time. Good, as in the progression system is innovative. Essentially speaking, from races you gain three things, right? Three things. In-game cash, experience, and reputation points, as they like to call them. Or as I like to call them, class points. Now, first two are pretty damn straightforward, so I won't be boring to explain them. So, third one. What happens is that each car belongs to a certain class, and by driving a car from a given class, you earn those reputation points for that class. I hope now you can see why I like to call them class points. I think it's a lot more descriptive, but I digress. With those points you can unlock tuning kits, aka sets of upgrade parts that you can buy with the in-game cash, or you can unlock a random car in that class that is yet not unlocked. Now the brighter of you there might be asking yourself, how in the world do we earn class points for the other classes then if we don't have a car from that class? The answer is simple. You unlock higher classes by leveling up, and upon such level you get a random car unlocked. That means you can unlock all cars from each class, but it simply takes time, not money. I personally really like this solution, even though RNG can screw your car choice really hard, but it at least forces you to be flexible with your driving style, which is a rare thing nowadays. And I like that, really, believe it or not. Now the bad side is, you have premium cars. Now those premium cars can only be bought with diamonds, which is basically the speed boost equivalent of this game. So If that wouldn't be all, those cars come with 50% boost to in-game cash, experience and reputation points rewards from races. As far as I know, that also stacks with a premium account which gives exactly the same boost. Now currently, you can't really make private races with friends or any such things, you just press play and wait till your lobby is up. Now if there aren't any players online, you'll be matched with AI. If there isn't enough players to fill the lobby, the rest of the spots are filled with AI. And when you have at least even a single AI in your race, you can only race on one of the 3 tracks. I have no idea why anyone thought this was a good idea, but here we are. Hopefully devs will address this soon. So, yeah. Moving on, at the start of the race you can choose a bet, which requires you to perform certain tasks. If you manage to accomplish them, you get a payout. There are 3 levels, obviously the harder, the bigger the payout. However, in its current form, this does mean that to earn any actual in-game cash, you have to be betting on the hardest one as often as possible, otherwise you'll be really short on in-game cash. Other stuff, well, the graphics aren't anything special, but they're definitely not bad, enough for a free-to-play game, one may say. Sounds are hopefully placeholders in some cases, if not most. And the automatic gearbox is reading the stars to know when to downshift. Oh, and the graphical user interface, aka the thing you click to navigate through the menu and whatnot, it basically looks like someone did it in a few minutes in a Photoshop. Which is why it looks extremely cheap and probably why after a while it makes me want to puke. Probably why I minimize the game more than any other game I ever had. Pretty much every opportunity I just go minimize to. Now you may be thinking to yourself, okay, so it is pretty much crap, and you're right, to be honest. However, there is a light in the tunnel, so to speak. Now the piece of gameplay you see now, okay, the one on the screen, with the skyline on the Nürburgring, is coming from the practice mode, which has client-sided physics. In other words, this is how the physics actually work, without there being any, delay from the servers telling me what to do, stuff like that, And although it is not anything amazing, right now at least, it does have a potential to be a very enjoyable arcade racer, which is, the main aim, I believe, just in my opinion. Now the main issues are way too high cornering speed. That is, a bit massive problem, both in terms of drifting and grip, although especially drifting, one may say. There's also the too low acceleration and too strong nitrous, or nitrous in general. Also ramming being way too easy to perform and having completely no downsides to it. Now, this game can be something really nice, but it all comes down to the developers. If they will actually listen to reason and address the issues, this should work out. However, if this is going to be a jump on the money, then, well, it ain't gonna work. And that's exactly why I advise anyone to wait before buying early access. And that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed this preview, first impression, thingamajig here, and well, if you have any questions, hit me up on the Twitter. That's at Ryu_Makkuro. And I'll see you when there's some revelation happening in this game. If any, So yeah.